So this is a very interesting home screen. As you can see, there's no apps, there's text, there's no dock at the bottom. I will show you in a second how to set up your phone this way. But as you can see, again, if I swipe over, I just have those two apps there. And I've kept this all really minimal for a purpose. One last thing I want to mention about the lock screen and the home screen here, I've gone with a black and white background, which just cuts down on the enticing nature of colors on my phone to keep everything super minimal, distraction free as I'm working. If I get a notification on my phone, it's not a colorful background that draws me into the phone. It's black and white, pretty dull in that way, but it still looks really cool as well. So the only apps I really have on my home screen here are music, which is Spotify, my calendar app, my health, which is actually 3 different apps. If I click through, I'll show you in a second. Tasks, and then messages, and my camera. These are things that I access all the time and I want to be able to access quickly. So I do have them here on my home screen. If I need to get any other app, you can obviously swipe down and search for any app on your phone, which is a nice feature. The next thing I want to say is usually there's an actual search button on your home screen, which I've actually removed. If you go into your settings, home screen and app library, search, show on home screen. Now you can see there's an actual button there, but it's the same as just swiping down. So if you want it to be a little bit cleaner, you can get rid of it by, again, going to settings, home screen and app library, and then toggling off show on home screen. Now it's nice and clean. Now, if you swipe over, you do have the app library, which I honestly do not like. I get why it has to be there, because then your apps just wouldn't exist. They'd be on your phone, but you wouldn't be able to access them because of the way they made the pages, how you can turn the pages on and off, and blah, 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 blah. I don't like this being so close, so something I've toyed around with is actually adding a page in between. So I'll add it back. And as you can see now, in order for me to get to my apps, I have to swipe twice. So it just adds a little bit more friction to the rest of my apps outside of the search feature, of course. And because there needs to be something on this page in order for it to work, I just have a widget here that is invisible basically. And in this widget, what are they called? The carousel or something like that. I have my tasks, I have my food intake, my ultrahuman ring air data, my water intake, the weather, and that's it. So if you're okay with having these little dots on the bottom of your screen to show the 2 different pages, adding another swipe is just another piece of friction to reach the rest of your apps, which I think is a nice way of, again, just making it that much harder to be distracted by what's on your phone. Right, so let's talk about the how. How do I get this? Basically, it's an app, and the app is called Blank, I believe. Let's open it up here. Yep, Blank, if you just search it in the App Store. Basically, you set it up via this right here. You can add anything, and it has a ton of apps that are available, but if there's ever an app not listed in their app, you can click not listed and then add an existing shortcut. So if you do Siri shortcuts on your phone, or if you haven't, you can just type in shortcuts, pull up the app, and it's as easily as hitting the plus icon, and then an option here is open app, and then you just click the app you want to open if it's not on that list, and then you go back into the Blank app here and then add an existing shortcut. Basically, it walks you through everything. I don't need to sort of walk through the how-to with all of it, but very easy to use. And then you'll notice too, up top here is actually, it says January 5th. That's actually another like widget from the Blank app, and if you just click on it, it takes you to the Blank app itself. And you can configure all of that, play around with it. It does a really good job. The app itself does a really good job of showing you how to set it up to look like this. You can add more or less apps in this home screen setup. You can make them further apart, closer together. You can make them right aligned, left aligned, center aligned, how I have it, make the font bigger, smaller. You can change the fonts. So there's a lot of customization within the minimalism, if you will. So I love the app. I think it's paid. I can't remember, but if it is a paid app, it's really inexpensive. So it's worth it in my opinion. The way that I have basically a Blank widget on this second page is another app, and that app, I think it's all the way at the bottom here. Yep. I don't even know what it's called. What what is this app called? MD Studio, or the people who make it. Just search for this icon, I guess, in the App Store. Just type in like widgets or blank widget. And basically you want the one that, you want this exact one because the widget itself isn't called anything. So you can see there's no like text next to the app, which allows the widget to not have a name under it on your home screen. And the same goes for the blank app as well. Some widget apps, like Widgetsmith is one of them. This app would then say Widgetsmith under it on your home screen, and it kind of ruins the aesthetic of nothing actually being there. So just keep that in mind. That's the reason why I've chosen these two apps specifically. The funny thing about like minimalist setups is there's not a ton to really talk about as far as how this is set up and stuff like that. It's very simple and easy to understand, but we can move on to the pro tips for this video, which kind of dive into more about making your phone more minimalist and reducing distractions even more. So as I talked about colors earlier, there's a ton of colors, right, with all of these apps and in messaging. Something you can do even further to sort of cut down on how enticing your phone is to use is just go into settings, go to accessibility, go to display and text size, go all the way down to color filters, and then turn that on for just a second and make sure that grayscale is selected. Okay, turn that back off, hit the back button twice, swipe down all the way to accessibility shortcut, which is the triple click on the home button or the lock button on your phone, and make sure color filters is selected. So once that's set up, if I triple click the home button, you can see it grayscales my phone. So everything's black and white. It's not very fun to use. As I go into messages, you see just all the colors are gone. Into my photos, all the colors are gone. But again, it's just a feature that just makes your phone that less enticing and distracting to pick up. Anytime you want the colors back for whatever reason, triple click again. Maybe you're showing your friends some photos and you actually want the colors. It's that easy to switch back and forth between the two. A couple more little pro tips here. One is obviously you can set up focus modes on your phone. I have found focus modes take up a lot of time to set up. They're really valuable, but because it takes so much time to set up, I'd rather just set my phone up to be distraction free in general. But even still, focus modes are a great resource that Apple has made to help with certain times of your day where you don't want to be distracted by certain things, but you want to be accessible to other things and easily accessible by certain people, not by others, stuff like that. So look into focus modes if you're not aware of it. There's plenty of videos out there on setting up specific focus modes that fit your life. Final thing I'll say is this. When I am home with my kids and family and I don't need to be using my phone, I have found having an Apple Watch is great because it's connected to the Wi-Fi of my house. I have a focus mode set up for when I'm home with family. Only basically close family and friends can contact me. No real apps can contact me. I leave my phone in another room. I'm able to be texted on my Apple Watch. If my mom's like, hey, I need to call you real quick, or hey, can you call me? I can then go get my phone so I can have the notifications for the people that matter. But this is like the biggest pro tip of being distraction free with your phone is literally just to not use it. So having the Apple Watch to pair is something that I have been really enjoying, and the reason why I don't think I'm going to be fully getting rid of the Apple Watch, which I'll talk about that in another video. If you all want to see how I set up my Apple Watch for distraction-free living with this technology, let me know in the comments down below. I'd be happy to walk you through my Apple Watch and how I have it set up. But that does it for this video. If you have any trouble setting up your phone in this way or just any questions at all, you're more than welcome to leave a comment down in the comment section below. I love talking with you all about this kind of stuff, so I'd be happy to answer you as soon as I possibly can. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe if you're new and if you like technology, minimalism, and intentional living. That's what we talk about here. So I appreciate you for watching. Watch this video here. I think you're going to love it, and I will see you all in the next video.